So I want to make a quick video going over what I mean when I say 50-50, because some people don't quite understand what I mean when I say that. By some people, I mean this idiotic comment up on the screen right now. But to say that Warden only has 50-50 or 33-33-33 is just not true, because yeah, sure, I myself as the Warden have those options to either let it go, which is one half, which would be 50, and then I could just feint it, which you I guess say is the other half of 50-50. But that's not what I mean. When I say that, I'm referencing the defensive options, the person defending themselves against this, which is why I much prefer unblockables as a form of offense as opposed to like undodgeable bash mix. So for one option, right, for example, if I were to let this unblockable go, he could just dodge it. You could just dodge it, I'll whiff, you can guard break me, all good. Another option that he has would be to parry my unblockable, right? So that's two options now. So another option he has would be the side dodge attack, like that. So when he does that, not only does it play to dodge the unblockable if I let it go, but it also plays for the guard break portion of it, which I don't know how to get him to like do it on counter to this, but it plays for the guard break portion of that as well, where if I try to guard break him, because he's throwing out the attack, my guard break bounces off, which I'm sure most of you guys watching you do know that. Another thing you could do is dodge the initial hit and then interrupt him from the unblockable, and there's nothing he could really do. If he feints it, if he feints the guard break, if he lets it go, like you interrupted him, he's done. Like he can't play into that mix anymore, right? So that's already four different options for the unblockable on its own. Then of course you want to get really wacky with it. You could always just do this, roll away, but you'll probably end up getting roll catch. As for Warden's bash, when you say triple 33, you have the full charge bash, the level 1 bash, and the level 2 bash. That's what this comment's thinking when he says triple 33. However, there's a lot more options to it as well. You could again side dodge attack the second you see that startup, and odds are you're gonna end up interrupting me before I get to my hyper armor, which then forces me to feint it, play for your dodge attack. You can do something like this if you think they're gonna charge it longer. You can just interrupt Warden out of it. So that's another option that you have at your disposal. And another option you have, depending on your character, is you could literally just bash Warden out of it, and you will be playing for... Oops, I want him to charge that, but you'd be playing for the hyper armor. See, so I did end up getting my level 3, but because his came out first, he was able to bash me out of my bash without any problem, right? So there's a multitude of different defensive options that you get when you're playing against an unblockable. You're playing against a bash or charge bash like this, for example, Warden, that you don't get when you're playing against someone like Griffin or in certain cases Tiandi, like the comment says. So for example, when I say 50-50, I mean a dodgeable bash mix for almost every character in the game outside of Black Prior. You don't have any other options on defense. You only have two options. You have either I'm going to try and dodge this kick here from Griffin, or I think he's going to throw the undodgeable, and then I'm going to get bashed, right? So, and I just have to stand there, because if I don't, if I try to do something else, and I guess wrong, I'm going to get hit, right? And he could just kind of keep doing this cycle over and over and over again. But when I say 50-50, I really mean this. I really mean something like that, right? You see how he tries to dodge, but he can't, right? Or I could go to the kick, and then he's going to dodge. But the problem is you could dodge attack, and if he gets wrong, the undodgeable is still going to hit you, right? Before that dodge attack hits me, my undodgeable is going to hit you. That completely negates that option, right? So it's mindless, because on the defensive side, you don't have any other options. You can't even roll, because the undodgeable is going to roll catch you. Like, it's going to suck Griffin in, he's going to track you if you guess wrong. But then you have the bash, in which, yeah, sure, you could dodge or dodge attack it, but again, you're banking on the fact that it's going to be the bash, right? There's no other option. And if you stand there looking to block or parry the undodgeable, and you guess wrong and it's a bash, well, guess what? You're getting hit, right? You're just getting hit into this again, which I haven't set the dodge, but you're getting hit by it for the full follow up, and the cycle repeats over and over and over again. There's no other options, right? There's a few characters in the game who have this kind of undodgeable bash mix in which you can play it in a few kind of different ways. But for the most part, it's all the same, where you are restricted to either dodging to guess if it's the undodgeable or not, or either standing there trying to block or parry the undodgeable and then getting hit by the bash. But something like the unblockable or the charge bash, there are a multitude of different options that forces me as the warden to try and bait out other things. Baiting out side dodge attacks, because you wanted to mention that about my intro. You know, like baiting out shit like that, where it's like I'm possibly sacrificing my punish by, say, if you empty dodge and I don't guard break, well, you just got away with it, right? That's part of that whole little game there. There's a multitude of different ways to deal with it. I could even try and feint immediately on level 1 or not bash at all. I could literally just pause, wait, and see if you want to interrupt me, and I could just get a light parry. The amount of things that I could do because of that bash versus the unblockable as well, even, and the amount of options that you have plays into the amount of options that I have and what I have to think about as the warden when I throw it. So no, it's not a pure 50-50. When I say pure 50-50, I mean there are only 2 options, and that's final. That is not the case. And again, when I say options, I mean defensive options, not offensive options. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. Ignorant ass comment, dude. Please, if you're gonna type shit like this, just don't type it at all. Go do your research, go hit practice mode, improve, get better, and maybe come back later. I'll see you guys next time.